Flashback.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
I am okay. I'm alive and well, please. Taking it day at a time. But I'm doing well. Thank you. Yourself?
No, I'm good. I'm chilling. I must just do stuff. I'm lazy.
Okay.
Okay. So, this is Ryan. He's the guy behind the camera. Actually, not the. He's usually the guy behind the camera. He's mostly the guy behind the PC.
Yeah.
Ha! This is our youth pastor. For those of you that don't know. I'm just saying, some people might not know. Anyway, I'm Ashel. I'm me. But this is more with Ryan, and we have questions for Ryan. I have put them in, not less important than most important, but like less seriousness to more seriousness.
Okay.
Okay. So the first question is like, how old are you really?
How old am I really?
I don't know how you asked this. It was Wesley.
I know it was Wesley. Wesley told me to ask that question. It's a good question.
That's a good question, okay.
So I should do the answer.
Yeah.
I'm 28 years old.
See, that's the point. You're 6 years older than me. You're 6 years older than me, sure. For those who can't do maths, I'm 22. Okay. Which biblical character do you relate to the most and why?
Oh, that's a good one.
I know. Aiden.
There was one character that I said I'd want to relate to more than any, and that would be Elijah. Because he had such a close relationship with God, close walk with God, and he at the stage basically gave up because he's like, I can't do this anymore, everybody's after me, everybody's like gunning it. I'm like, I'm just gonna lay here and I'm gonna die. And God sent an angel to feed him, wake him up, feed him, and basically sent him on his way in. The reason why I found that profound and why I want to relate to him is because even moments of disparity, wanting to give up, when things are hard, I can always rely on God being there for me and sending me what I need to continue and keep on doing His work. So yeah, that's me.
Elijah's a prophet, by the way. Okay. One question. What do you think is the biggest problem within the church?
Well, the church as a whole, I will speak about the church as a whole because there's a big divide in the church. I think that's the biggest problem because the church as a whole, when I'm thinking about that scripture in Romans where the church is a body, different parts of the body, and the church often wants to operate in its own capacity as a foot or without having the hand nearby, and so each one wants to do their own thing, and that division and that separation is not part of the unity that God or the unity that Jesus set out when He came to die for us all, to bring people closer together, for people to understand what it means to be part of the kingdom. And so I think division and also theology. A lot of people understand things in the Bible in very different ways, and often it's helpful because we all don't see these things in the same way. But it's unhelpful in the sense my way and my view is the only way to see things. So when theology or our view and our thoughts and our opinions become over and above what anybody else can say or do, even to the point where it doesn't matter if Jesus said something, but this is what I believe about Jesus, even though that's in the Bible, that Jesus would stand against something that you stand for. So yeah, so I think less theology and more ideology then. Yeah. So I think that's a big problem in the church. Yeah.
See. Do this nicely. If you could go back to the days of Jesus, would you take with your knowledge of today?
No.
Why?
I'd want to learn from a point of Jesus context, because I think often bringing your own thoughts and your own views and your own opinions into a space, even to the times of Jesus, would make me the power in the space, because I know what's to come, I know what is going to happen. So I come with all the know-it-all kind of thing, and I think that's counter to learning or being in that space, because you have to step into the space with humility. And so it's good and well for me to know certain things, but to actually go into the times of Jesus and learn from him, I think that was also the problem that a lot of the Pharisees and the lawmakers, because they knew a lot and they wanted to come with their knowledge and not learn what Jesus had to offer. So I wouldn't want to go with what I know now, because it wouldn't be helpful in learning from Jesus if I put certain perspectives and stuff of Jesus on Jesus of today, but that wouldn't be helpful in the context of learning from Jesus and learning what that world has to offer and teach me about what it means to be a follower of Jesus. So, yeah.
Do you think, okay, this is a fourth question. Do you think if you went back with your knowledge of today, just if, do you think like if you told Jesus about like something that would come, do you think you'd be surprised? Do you think you'd be like, oh yeah, no?
I would say that's a very difficult question. I don't think I can.
If you can't answer, it's fine. It's just like a thought.
Well, if I had to it depends on when you encounter Jesus. Remember at the beginning of his ministry, there was a lot that was unknown until Jesus actually started his ministry, and there's a lot of things that we didn't know. We was talking about the stuff that he doesn't know, only the Father knows, the times of that, and when he will come again. So I will say it depends when I encounter Jesus. Like before we started his ministry and his so it's a good question. So yeah, but I think like when I encounter him would be
what do you think is the most important thing to look for when you're looking for? What do you think is the most important thing to look for when you're looking for a career?
You're looking for a career. I can only tell from my experience. But when looking for a career, that needs to be something that you prayed about first, because oftentimes we take things or take careers or take jobs, but it's not doesn't bring any value or make you feel valuable. It's often these jobs that break you down or dehumanize you, make you just a cog in the system, or you just like think or eat that make sure that the system runs. And so I think it's good to have to find a career that you feel like you're contributing something good, and also something that you are not ashamed of, in the sense where worship is everything you do. So it must be something that glorifies God, and that you can worship God in that space. in whatever you do. So if it's something that you're not glorifying God or glorifying towards God, I think you should step out of that. I'm not saying that the workspace needs to be like, oh, these crosses everywhere, people is singing sung worship everywhere. It's more of you coming into that space, and whatever you do in that space glorifies God in what you do. So no career is bad, or there isn't something too low to work as. It's okay if it's sweet, and if you find joy in being a sweeper, that's cool. So whatever joy you find also, if you find joy in the career, is also a good thing. Don't be miserable. Yeah. Say it now.
What makes a good leader, and how can we work towards that?
I think a good leader is somebody who's a good follower, first and foremost. Because you can't lead without knowing how to follow. Because if you are just always full steam ahead leading the front, there's no way of you knowing whether you are hurting or hindering the process of other people, or hurting them in a process that you are leading them in. Because I know there's a mentor of mine, friend of mine, who says, I'm like Paul, follow me because I follow Christ. So you must first and foremost be a follower. And also a good leader is somebody who listens and tries to understand. It's not helpful for you to just tell people what to do if you don't know the situation or the circumstance. Because people are still people at the end of the day. No two people are the same. Not everybody comes into the same mold. Not everybody has the same emotional, physical, spiritual capacity to do everything or anything. So getting to know the person or the people you're working with is very important, I think, as a leader. And also, as a leader, something that I personally believe in is that you must be able to play the background. When you lead, doesn't mean you have to do everything. It needs to take you to a place where you are pushing others ahead of yourself. Because at the end of the day, you are not the be all and end all of anything. That's God's job to be the Alpha and Omega, not yours. So if you are just constantly leading and not bringing people up with you, or to the point where you are actually pushing people ahead of you, then you're not a good leader, in my opinion. Because at the end of the day, if you fall or you aren't able to hold that space anymore, then nobody else can hold that space, and that's not very helpful for anybody, because the people that you are leading suffers, the space suffers. So because you didn't do the work of bringing people up alongside you and so forth. So
you can also learn at St. John Leadership Academy. Yeah, last question. This is a fun question. Oh, not a fun question. This is kind of a fun question. Oh, for me, it was a fun question. I don't know, it's a review. What is the biggest problem you think RedbyX has had? And has it been resolved? Yes or no?
I think the biggest problem that RedbyX has is the relationship. People hurt people, or more like it, hurt people. To make sense of that is that if you are hurt and somebody comes up into your space, you have a knee-jerk reaction to respond in not a nice manner. Whatever you might be going through, you end up taking it out on somebody else. And because RedbyX often has a lot of people growing up in the space, the same like school, sometimes live in the same area, all in this Sunday school / children's church together and all that stuff. They're always in the same space. So there's a lot of relationships happening in that space and a lot of connectivity. And what happens is one person is going through something and has a knee-jerk reaction to somebody else, and then that pattern follows. And because there's so much intricate relationships between that, so person A and person B ends up not being in a good relationship anymore, and that affects basically a lot of other people in the same space. So it's very easy to say it, but I know from experience, forgiveness is a difficult thing. And to humble yourself and say, listen, I kind of need to step down and not get over myself, but more like need to take it through the work to say, why was that person said would be offensive to me? Why was I offended by that? And why do I think that person said that or did that? And do that work. It's not easy, because if I said something wrong to you, you don't want to know why I said it, and you just you say something wrong and you just like, you know what, Brian, just whatever. Or people just want to fight and whatever. And I think we need to work on forgiveness, and that's not just a thing at the RedbyX, it's a thing in general, but I think it's something that we need to really push towards, because there could be a lot of hurt in certain spaces. I don't know everything, but I know that because of all the intricate, delicate relationships that exist in this space, that often when somebody's hurt, they hurt somebody else and things go.
So would you say it's like 60% self-work and 40% like relationship work?
I wouldn't put a percentage on it, because sometimes the work is way more than that. But sometimes, like, if somebody says something, I go and greet somebody and they just say, get away from me. I don't want to touch your ugly t-shirt. That's a very stupid example, but I mean, that was, at the end of the day, I'm like, yo, I really love this t-shirt, and they told me my t-shirt is stupid, and so I need to almost like move away from that hurt, which is super difficult, and then say, okay, I don't think my t-shirt is stupid, but why does that person think my t-shirt is stupid? What did this, because is that person maybe really like my t-shirt and just said it's stupid to hurt me, like to throw me off? There's a lot of questioning that you need to do, and the even more difficult part is if you actually contact that person and say, hey, you said my t-shirt is stupid. Often when we ask that person, why did you ask and say my t-shirt is stupid, that person's might not even be honest. And so there's work that needs to be done there. So what I usually do is I will tell somebody, can we talk? And they sometimes it's no, or sometimes I even get a why do we want to talk, or why do we need to talk? And
I've got
and I am honest to say that things are not okay between us, and I would like things to be okay. And 9 times out of 10, that catches people off guard, because they assume you're angry at them, or they still angry at you and whatever. And that is like maybe this relationship means more than a moment that happened. Sometimes we invest 8 years in this relationship with each other, and one moment disrupts it 8 years. There was so much work and love and appreciation and friendship and so much in that 8 years, and one moment destroys it and you shouldn't allow that moment to be stolen. So, yeah.
And if they say no, Christian?
And if they say no, pray for them. I guess
Yeah.
I know that I still have people that I don't think forgave me, because I also made mistakes.
And definitely people.
And I'm not even gonna lie, sometimes I don't even know I did something wrong, because I'm very oblivious to when I do something wrong at times. And so yeah, so if they say no, I'm like, okay, cool, I'll pray for you. and hope that one day that person just like messages me or comes back to me and say, hey, okay, I'm ready to go. So yeah.
I don't want to talk about that next yeah, it's about it. Do you have any closing thoughts for people, please?
The one thing I want to say is that I don't know everything. Sometimes I say things off the cuff, what I believe in the moment, and it might not come through to every situation. But I would say that whatever situation that you're facing or whatever you're going through, with the relationships or whether you're discerning about the church or you're thinking about what it is that the church needs to do more, if it's work in justice and reconciliation, if it's a work in homelessness, the work in coming together and making the world a better place, whatever it is, I would say pray about it, ask God for the Holy Spirit to help you discern as to what you can do, because every single body has a place and a purpose and can do something that can affect a huge change. That might start small, but can bring a really big change. So just pray about it and ask.
I know it's not everything, but knows a lot.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Cheers.
End of flashback.